All right, moving on to our we do. Our we do says, which equation best represents the relationship between x and y in the graph? So now it wants us to figure out which equation best represents the relationship in the graph. So the easiest thing I can tell you to do for these, there's two things you need to do. First, I can look at my graph and remember our equations are written in y equals mx plus b form. Remember the b represents the what? The y-intercept, right? Okay, so now that you have, you know the b represents the y-intercept, I'm going to take my highlighter and I'm going to highlight my y-axis. Because what the y-intercept is where the line that we're graphing crosses the y-axis. So the line that we graphed is here, right? I just traced it in blue. Let me redo it. Okay, so I put it in blue. So where did the line that I highlighted and the blue line meet? So you are correct. They met right here. And what value is that? I guess I could draw it smaller. Okay. Yes, that's 1. Is that a positive 1 or a negative 1? That's a positive 1. So that means your equation is going to be written in y equals mx plus 1 form. So can we eliminate any answer choices? Yes, we can eliminate C and D. So now we can use our graph to create a table to determine our rate of change. We have our x and y values. Okay, so I'm going to erase this stuff so that I can see my graph a little bit better. So my first pretty point, or point where the line crosses all four in the corner of the 4 squares, is here. And my x is 4 and my y is 2. Then my next point is right here where my x is 8 and my y is is that 8? 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, and my y is it 3? Is that the perfect point? Hold on, let me make sure I look at this correctly. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's 2. Okay, so let me do here. So now we take our y value, which is 2, and put it over our x value. What do we get? 1/4. So your answer should be A. Okay. So again, you're going to take your x value and your y values from the table, from the graph, and create a table to figure out your constant rate of change. So the graph is kind of hard to see. That's what I was trying to. Okay, so it should have been A. We had 2 and 4, which we said was. Right? No, it was the other way around. Our x. Sorry. I shouldn't erase that. We had 4 and 2, so it should have been 4, 2 over 4. Okay? So you're going to do the same thing here. Start by, remember, highlighting your y-axis and then tracing your graph line. And where do those two intersect at? Where do those two meet at? Right here. What number is that? It's 4. So that means your equation should be written in y equals mx. Is it a positive or negative 4? It's a positive 4, so it's plus 4. If it were a negative 4, then it would be minus 4. But since it's a positive, it is plus 4. So can we eliminate any answers? Yes, F and J. So now we need to find the rate of change, okay? So you can do it the way I did it with the X and the Y in creating the table. So like here, our X is 2. Sorry. Our X is 2, our Y is 0. Then here, our X is 1, our Y is 2. Another way you could do it is by finding two like perfect points, which would be, let me see, let me erase this line so I can look more closely. So like this would be a perfect point, and then this would be a perfect point. How many points are we going up and then over? So we went up. It's essentially rise over run. So how many points did we go up? We went up 2 and we went over 1. Don't know what happened, why it came. So we started here and we're going here. So we're going to go 1, 2 boxes, right? And then we go over 1 box. So it'll be 2 over 1. Same thing here. Don't worry about that one. It's 2 over 1, which is the same thing as 2, right? So your answer was G, okay? So, sorry. Once you, oh, that was a you do. My bad. I finished it for y'all. You're going to go ahead and do your independent practice now. These are a little bit a little bit different. So for these, you have to see which of these equation matches the scenario. So it says Leslie had $250 at the beginning of the month to spend on lunches. She bought the same lunch every day and boxed in bought just and she always spent $10.75. Which equation could Leslie use to determine how much money she has left buying X number of lunches? So here it's X number of lunches. So X is going to go with the number that has to do with lunches. What number has to do with lunches? 10.75 is correct. Okay? And then if she's buying it, is she adding it or subtracting it? She's going to subtract it. And what is she going to subtract it from? Well, she's going to subtract it from her original amount. What was her original amount? Or the beginning amount at the beginning of the month. Okay, so that's the number that's going to go there. And you're going to tell me which equation is correct. Okay? So finish that one up. And then this is your you do, which is the same. Here, you're just matching up your graph to your table. So you have to find your the points from the table on the graph. So you're going to take them and plot them on the graph and see make sure that all the points land on the line. Whichever one has all the points landing on the line, then that is your correct answer. Okay? Same thing for this one. These are like the ones we did in the beginning where you plug in the values. Okay? So make sure you get all that work done and turn it, and that you're working towards your goal number for the end of the week. Okay.